Hello, beautiful Trude. Have I pronounced your name right?
Yes, you have. Hello, gorgeous.
You know, day is so cloudy outside, but I look at you and I see the sunshine. How amazing is that, huh?
Thank you. That's the point, isn't it?
It is, it is. So, welcome to this first pilot of whatever it's going to be. Shift happens because we know shit happens all the time, but we know we can also shift things. And I would love to just have this show, this informal talk, and I would love you to feel welcome and free to just be yourself. Um, just show you can deal with impromptu and nonsense things. We're not here to talk so serious. There's so many other podcasts that people do that all the time. No, we don't take things so serious because I need variety. I don't know you, but I am someone that really needs variety. So share now with our listeners, who are you, this multi-modality practitioner? What does that mean to you? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, who am I? Okay. I'm just me. What
Mm.
you see is what you get. So I know that I am, for example, I'm stubborn.
Mm.
Yeah. I am also extremely caring. Right. So I have a lot of different sort of qualities to my character. I am not what I do. I am, I have different roles in things that I do, but I am not that. So, what I am is a loving, supportive, arrogant, and stubborn person.
It was so nice to meet you, but I don't think we can carry on this relationship. Oh dear, I don't do very well with arrogant people. What's the need? Tell me. Oh,
What
oh.
do you mean? What's the need?
What's the need? Why do you feel so attached with this word, arrogant? What does that mean to you?
That is such a good question.
Does
I
anyone label you that once upon a time and you decided, oh, okay, I think I am because I don't see you as arrogant at all?
maybe I get yes, label put onto me. Uh,
Mm.
confidence and also not getting easily ruffled when you're in difficult situations, that can be construed as arrogant. So I don't know.
Bullshit. Huh?
Bullshit.
Oh,
Built-
other people would call that narcissist too.
oh yeah. Imagine.
Exactly. Imagine if you also have embraced that label just because you are someone that randomly think, you know what? I'm going to use that label for today. Today, I'm going to be a narcissist person. And then suddenly people just look at you and say, no, you're just an arrogant. That would just cause confusion. And how would that make you feel? Tell me.
Oh, completely confused. And also it's like, okay, so why would I listen to you?
Good.
Just let me be. Right? Why would I listen to you?
So you like Shakespeare, to be or not to be?
I am being.
So tell me right now what you're deciding that you want to be.
What do I want to be? I want to be living and in the present moment, experiencing the present moment, which today is a newly bathed dog that I can, hug and kiss and all that stuff without feeling that, oh God, you came from the kennel and you're carrying, oh, you smell. No, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just enjoying the present, Marcella.
Are you happy to lick them back?
Happy to what?
You just lick the dog back?
No, 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 no. Don't let me do that. No, I'll get full of hair. I don't have this system whereby hairballs go through very easily. So I'm not even going to try.
Just checking if you are happy to put some boundaries in this new relationship, you know, or if you're just going for it.
I have boundaries. I do what I want to do, and she's enjoying it because she's telling me.
Okay. So do you think it's easier to have boundaries with animals than with the humans?
Humans, you know, when you set boundaries with humans, they tend to be pissed off at you.
True. I'm so glad we don't have boundaries, by the way. Otherwise, I would get really cross. I really understand what you're trying to say here. Like boundaries either, you know, they do have this tendency to piss off people, you know. I agree with you.
Yeah. Whereas dogs, they, you know, they are fine. You set this boundary. Do I care? No, I don't. Well, sometimes I do care, but sometimes I don't. But I don't hate you for it. I'm not holding it against you. There's not a grudge. You know, they're just being. That's what I want to be. I just want to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. So how do you find when you actually have people that violate your boundaries? How they make you feel? Show me externally, and then just as you know, shift happens. Show me both ways.
Okay, so when my boundaries are being, what you say, pushed, whatever. Okay, so I close off. I close off and I shut down. So then that means, you know, non-responsive. I just pull back and just shut the door to myself and put up this, you know, facade, the glass door that they can't. Yeah. And what was the other question?
Forget it. I forgot.
Me too.
No, I did ask it for you. Tell me, the real you, how you would behave when someone is trying to violate your boundaries. And I think it's so important what you have mentioned, because how you said you would behave, I believe, is so relatable to everyone. You know, every time that someone violates our boundaries, you know, I'm joking a lot here, but this is exactly how we feel. We feel incapable to be ourselves. We feel that we want to shut down. We feel not noticed. We feel that no one actually could hear our voice.
Disrespected comes to mind. Yeah.
Anything else? Come on, let's now show the true version of you on those boundaries that
You
I
know what?
know.
When you have been a person that has been there
Yeah.
of service to other people all the time, right?
What kind of service? Let's just leave it very clear.
Not the naughty one, not the naughty one. I'm
I
talking,
forgot about those ones, but now they have bring that into. Oh no, it's okay. You carry on.
you know, doing what is supposed to be done by a wife, you know, keeping the house, keeping the, you know, making dinners, cleaning, taking the kids, and, you know, just being available to the rest of the family all the time. And then what happens is you're not available to yourself. So when you start to be available towards yourself, and then it's almost like, yeah, but who are you? Mommy, why don't you do this? Yeah, but that's your job. Why haven't you done that? So then, you know, you get, yeah, you get into conflict because you change.
I appreciate that you have shared the roles of a housewife as a job description, okay? But the intention of this conversation is actually help people to understand that we also talk nonsense things here. And yes, our kids, they don't understand that things need to be done. And we don't understand why they don't understand that, if that makes any sense. Because sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't make for them, certainly. Otherwise, he would have helped us. He wouldn't say, Mom, you're just moaning about that coffee mug that was left for a whole week there, because of course if you don't touch it and you clean it, it will stay there. I don't mind it. I don't know if you get that too, but yeah, it's amazing. You know, they technology, you know, they invent dishwasher, Hoover, you know, they still need someone to touch that equipment and make things happen. They think because you have everything around you, things will get done. And we know it doesn't work like that. How it works for you? Do you express yourself?
Yes, I do, to my own detriment, but never mind.
Never mind. Okay. Why never mind?
Because if somebody gets upset with me because I'm telling them, you could tidy up after yourself, or maybe you should think of something, who are they getting upset with? Not me. They're getting upset because they're called out and they know, but to be called out and to be seen is not always very comfortable, is it? So yeah.
Well, depends. There's lots of people that loves to be avoided.
Not the voyeur. I'm not the voyeur.
You're not talking about, okay, right, okay, just to make sure that I have not misinterpreted things, you see?
FYI. I mean, yes, I got binoculars. I've been traveling recently and I came across a pair of binoculars, but I am not going to use them to look through people's windows to see what they're doing, okay?
Right. So no excuses that you are a bird watcher at all. Okay.
No, no.
Right. Okay. Well, interesting. Yeah. I just don't like, when people have, these horrible, your coach, when we're talking about over exaggerating things, mind reading. I never do that to you.
I can't read some people's minds. How can I?
Ooh.
I have problems, understanding my own mind sometimes, let alone, reading people's mind. I mean, I can speak to people and I can grasp what they're not telling me and point that out, but I can't read their minds.
I have gave up on that too. You know what? I know I'm really good feeling into people. Oh, I can really feel them. But this, trying to read the mind is the same as, do a test for remote viewing. I never was good at it, I must admit. I felt not good enough trying to do remote viewing a few times and not going to the same places that everybody else in the classroom was. But I'm proud enough to say this is the only topic that I'm not good at. Everything else, I'm really good at.
Algebra, trigonometry, all these things, algorithms.
What are they?
Exactly.
Talking about them, I was more on the spiritual aspect.
Or spiritual. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Sorry, you're trying to divert here the conversation. And then suddenly you try to change. No, we don't do that. We're going back to over exaggerating things. That's too much for my brains, I must say.
Yeah. No, we need to be careful. We need to stay within the boundaries.
Yeah.
Within the box.
That looks a bit small. Something bigger than that?
When you go into it, it's huge.
I guess you're talking about the imagination. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine this, Michaela. We have a brain in here. We have a brain, we have a mind, we have thoughts, we have everything.
That's what
right?
they say.
But the skull is the boundary. But when you go into the mind, it's unending and it can it can develop and it can grow and it can expand, yeah, forever.
That's
really
very profound.
forever.
That's really, really profound. I think we just need to shift this a little bit, because let's shift the energy. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit more food. Food brings lots of comfort. Do you have clients that feels that they have a strong attraction for certain foods that bring them comfort?
Have never talked about foods.
Oh, okay.
No, I talk about feeding the mind and what the mind choose to eat. That's what I talk about.
what the mind chooses to eat.
Yeah.
What is it? What's on the menu for today?
For the menu is,
Yeah.
if you would like to
Well
change the
done. Well
focus
done.
of where, if you would like to change your mind on the focus of where your thoughts are going, you are allowed to. That's the menu.
Simple like that.
As doesn't have to be complicated.
How it tastes.
I don't give a menu that is overfilled with stuff.
Okay. So
Sim-
you don't do roast dinner. You don't like the stuffing.
don't do roasting and cooking. No, you know, it's too much.
It's too
Might
much.
be smelly and smoky. Yeah, no.
Ooh. You know, us, the British, we love roast dinners. Sunday roast dinner, but I just have any day I fancy, to be honest. I don't know why people say it should be on a Sundays. If you have the time to do and spend those hours in the kitchen, you know, I know they always supermarket nowadays they also sell roast dinner. You know, they can literally just put it on the microwave, but that's so lazy. It doesn't even taste like it. I don't like microwave food, to be honest.
It's all about the journey of making it. You know, use your hands, get into it. You transfer your energy into what you're eating, and it tastes so much nicer.
Right, okay. Let's talk about that. Transfer the energy. When was the last time that you have transferred your energy? Just something that you was really looking forward to pursue.
Oh,
Hmm.
you know what? Okay, so
Was that long ago that you cannot even remember?
yesterday,
Oh, good.
okay, yesterday traveling, having a lot of excess baggage, thinking, whoops, I'm going to be charged a lot. And then I thought, no, I am going to just be open. What happens, happens. I am going to trust that the person who checks in my luggage
Yeah,
is just a nice person that I can have a good conversation with. And she's not going to, you know, she's just not going to notice this. That's what happened.
that is the same technique that I use. I'm sure millions of other people do that same thing. Usually works. Depends on the company, you know, what you're flying with.
Definitely, yeah. And also, you know, but you know, it's the attitude that you come in with. So if you come in with an attitude of anxiety, it shows on your body, doesn't it?
Yeah.
People, people pick up on that energy. But if you come in and you are just relaxed and open, you give something to people and they absorb it and they start to feel the same. They start to feel, you know, relaxed. In a service profession, right? Okay, so this client is not going to attack me. I can relax, you know, we can have a good interaction for the few minutes it lasts. Change of energy.
Okay. Interesting perspective, and I'm sure that we can carry on talking about changing the energy. I was trying to ask you, so I'm going to try again. When was the last time that you actually have exchanged energy with someone that you really wanted to pursue? Forget the suitcase now.
Oh, I don't pursue people.
Ooh, I love that.
No, actually,
Now
that's
now explain why we should never pursue people.
it's like a bit of a force, isn't it? I mean, like I said, I'm just being. So if people would like to be in my presence, they, you know, they like you today. You know, you wanted to be in my presence, so you contacted me.
Yes, that's how
Yeah,
it works, huh? That's
c'est
how
la
it
vie.
works.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I'm trying to be playful here, but I really want to talk a little bit more serious. You know, I believe you and me, we know people all over the world. And the beauty of friendship is you always know the one that you really miss most, and you message that person, they always will be there for you. And even if they can't make on that day, they always will say, you know what, I can't do today, but let's try tomorrow. Let's try Saturday. Because that's how relationships should be. And I have friends that, I'm not going to say my age, but since my school and college time, we still friends, we still have contact. And even though that I am living a totally different country with a different culture, when we are together, never, never, never there was a separation between us. And even though my life is always constantly changing so much, you speak with your friends and their problems are still the same. You're thinking, I'm doing very well in life, you know?
You
Do you
get
have
the,
the same perception?
yeah. No, it's some people, you know, they live life and they move forward, right?
Yeah.
In the present, they move forward and they, you know, and some people they are a little bit sort of stuck and they remember things that from the past that they stay stuck with. And I'm thinking, "Oof, that's really, you're putting yourself in a bad situation, hey."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when shit happens and then they just start to think, you know what, this is my comfort zone and we're gonna stay here now. Because that's what is familiar to me.
Yeah. That's so then, you know, to make a shift from that, you know, is actually quite exciting and it's scary. You know, it might, you know, you get this nervousness and this anxiousness in you, but it's how you look at it. Because then, you know, if you embrace it and you think that, okay, what is the worst that can happen, right? CBT, what's the worst that can happen? Is the sky going to fall on my head? No, it won't. Might make a mistake, but hey, the gift in the mistake is that I learned something, so I don't do it again, do I? Yeah. And moving forward like that.
Well, it depends who we are
Yeah.
taking our life as our role models. And if that person that we choose to, that we would love that person to be our role model, say, actually, this was your mistake. And it's not right what you have done. And you know you're not good enough. And you should never ever have tried. How that person makes you feel. And this is exactly what happens. Sometimes we fall in love with someone, and let's talk about relationships now, and we just feel that a person's going to be there for us no matter what, and we have certain familiarities with our upbringing that holds us back tremendously, and we're always looking for certain partners to be within our actual partners too. And then when shit happens, we just go back to behave how it was, and we're expecting that they will behave on the same way that our parents, or specifically mom or dad, or even grandparents have behaved. And when that doesn't happen, we don't feel supported. But the truth is, we're talking about expectations here. And most of the relationships, people don't talk about their relationships, what feelings mean to them, what being in a relationship means to them, how much freedom they want, how much closeness they want, how much sex they want, how many times they're expecting to have an orgasm per month. Things like that are never discussed. Do you agree?
Totally. Actually, I hope the new generation discuss these things.
Wow, let's not talk about the new generation. I think, yeah, I think they're a little bit more relaxed. I think that they should probably think they know what they're doing, but they're just trying to figure out, just like us, really.
No, I'm serious. Okay, so I'm going to go back to being a little bit more serious.
Okay, go out. It's
But
okay.
what I see from the new generation is not everybody, of course, but they are much better at communicating with each other and not at each other. Meaning they listen, they are more willing to listen to each other, and also they're more willing to, you know, being coaches as we are, to seek help, to learn, to listen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that, I think that's, you know, I think it's sort of, it's a shift. So let's see if it helps, because I mean, divorce rates are, you know, more than 50%. So let's see if it goes up and down when the new generation gets married. But yeah, I can understand totally why it's up the way it is. Lack of communication, lots of assumptions. You don't measure up. No, you're not good enough for me. You don't do what I want.
Yeah. And something I never have shared before, I love to work with men. It gives me so much pleasure, because for me, it's so beautiful to see a man opening up, a man crying and being vulnerable. And we can freely and openly talk about the insecurities and see the shift, the transformation that those men feel towards the end of literally one session that can take up to 2 hours anyway. But any case, you see that, and they come from a place of confusion, a place that they are not feeling good enough with themselves, a place where they felt that they didn't have anyone that they could really open up. I feel, especially men, as we know, they come from a stereotype that they feel they need to follow for they be called as men. And I don't even care about the sex, because I work with people's souls anyway, the way that I work. And I know this show, it's very informal, and we can laugh and we can talk about things that are nonsense here, but there's always the time that we want to speak serious, just like now, as you suggested. So just going back to what I said about, you know, work with men and, you know, the pleasure in itself. Women, we always seem much more stronger. We like to show confidence, even sometimes we don't. Is the horrible fake until you make it, which I'm not a fan of it at all. But with the men, they literally just it's like you give a job description, that job description is passed on according to their culture, yeah, through many generations. And that's really wrong, because there is no difference where feelings are concerned, independent of our choice in life. We are human beings, and we all have feelings that we should be able to talk about, because what love means to me, it's never going to be the same what love means to you. What feel anxiety, yeah, or having a panic attack means to me would never be similar to you. And it's a funny, interesting, well, it's not really funny, but the way I see is, before just being a coach or therapist, whatever, you know, CBT, I don't really focus on labels, okay? Having that sort of experience, and then myself had to experience the grief and have to deal with anxiety, panic attack, and depression, and find myself, you know, in a really cloudy, a dark place, and then acknowledging that only I could take the decision of when I wanted to feel that pain or not, and when I needed help, and when I wanted to ask for help. Because, as you know, we never can support anyone they are not 100% committed to make the changes and the right choices in their life. And when I say right choices, there is not right or wrong anyway. This is what this show is about. We're not here to make points about anything, but to help people to think out of the box, and to help people to understand that their way is going to be whatever is right for them. Today is right, tomorrow can be wrong, and it doesn't matter. It's just the path that we choose to be able to evolve, to be able to find a way to live life in our terms. And even in doing that, we get hurted, we get misinterpreted, we get judged. But we also doing that naturally to ourselves too. because we also have certain expectations. So I'm going to just open now the space and allow you to share your thoughts about that.
Yeah, no, talking about men, I mean, tradition has it that men, they don't talk about feelings.
Mm.
We're moving into a space where that is more and more allowed, which I find is beautiful, because when you sit there as a receiver, you know, speaking to a guy, and you see or hear the masks dropping, and the realization from the guy that, oh, I won't get judged, and you see the person, the real person coming out, is absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's so, so nice. And, you know, being, you know, what we do, to sit there and be having created that trust, right, for a person to really open up and to start to know themselves better, because that's actually what happens, isn't it? You're allowing a space whereby a person starts to get to know themselves and to accept themselves and to have that openness to view the different parts of their character and integrate them, instead of, you know, shutting them up and down and, you know, putting on a face mask and all these things. It's gorgeous. And I think actually the same goes for women, because we are also put in a box. But when you allow that space, right, for a woman to accept, coming back to, you know, arrogance or stubbornness or whatever, these things, these facets of your personality actually help you. Because being stubborn means that you don't give up. That means you work hard. That means that you have tenacity to see whatever it is you want to fulfillment. And that's good, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
this is at least what I do, you know, make the shift in people so that they can just live a better life within and with themselves.
Mm.
You know, don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't do that. Just get to know yourself and then choose who you want to be.
And you don't need to be the same person every single second. You can literally just show different facets that you have within you.
Yeah.
And if you want to just be someone that is arrogant because you're told by someone else that this is actually cool, it's your choice. And then the consequences of that, it's going to be related to your own choices too. Then you can't blame other people for that. It's so important to acknowledge the power of personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about the personal responsibility? When specifically you have clients, new clients that want to work with you, do you make that very clear for them?
What do I make clear to my clients? I tell them that I can't fix you.
Mm.
I don't fix people. What I do is I am here to help you move forward, but you have to do you have to do the job. So unless you do the job, nothing is going to happen. You know, I expect you, well, you know, expectations, we shouldn't have them, but you need to be open and you need to be willing to open up. I also tell them I don't judge. I'm not in the the judgmental business. That's not me. Um, what else do I tell them? Yeah, I tell them that each one of us is in control of ourselves, right? So when we as a person sit there and we feel that this one and that situation and that job is controlling me,
Mhm.
then we need to look at that. We need to see how else we can see that, because you actually chose to be in that position with those people. So that's your responsibility. If you don't like it, what will you do to change? Like you said, to shift, to shift the shit, if you like.
Yeah, it's all in our, inner control, to be honest. And sometimes we don't do it because we lost. Well, the majority of the time is we're just scared of how people perceive us if we show any other side of ourselves. If we show a rebel side, for example, and you leave the shyness behind, well, unfortunately, we leave that for the judgment, from other people, and hopefully they can reflect too. We all have the power to empower ourselves. My mom always said, I never forgot that, especially in school and college time. Tell me who you hang around with, and I'm going to tell you who you are.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's something that still there. I think there's so much wisdom, within these words, advice, because I can see my children also make beautiful choices on who they want to have in their life, how those people they choose to have in their life make them feel, and I feel this is how should it be for everyone. We don't need to love everyone. We don't need to hate either, because that part that we're hating is a reflection of ourselves. What we dislike about someone is what we dislike about ourselves. Because if it wouldn't bother us, it means we achieved a stage within our lives that we have done a lot of inner work, a lot of digging, healing, let's call it like that. And we just know who we are. We just can feel. We started this show talking about the power of being, yeah, and how we feel. And when we can feel that inner peace and we can feel the love, we just want that. And more and more and more, and can be as fulfilling as, let's shift things here, can be as fulfilling as having an orgasm. Yes, it can.
It gives you a rush, doesn't it? Exactly.
Oh, yes. And people say it can take like 3 seconds, I never felt that. Always go like minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. It always builds up. So I'm so sorry if you guys or women are watching us and you suffer with not knowing how it feels. I feel you. I feel sorry for you. And I know it can be a choice too, but let's just be very honest here. We are not overgeneralizing this case. Am I right to say that? The sensation is amazing. Whoa, out of this world. Of course, depends on how much work you put towards, achieving the success that you're expecting. And how
Exactly.
much you contribute towards that too, because just being a receiver and just thinking, he knows what he's doing, she knows what she's doing, doesn't work like that. It needs to be a relationship that there is a compromise from both parties. Am I right to say that, Trude?
Compromise, don't like compromises, but there needs to be work from both ends. And I think what you said about self-insight and the choices that we make, very, very important. So, and also it's talking about orgasms, it's, if I relate that to being, it is how much focus you put on it. Are you in the present? Are you living and being in the present and enjoying it? Goes for life, goes for orgasms, both.
It's getting really hot here. I need to switch off the heating. Bear with me a second. No, I'm joking. But it's getting really hot here, so we need to shift again. Let's talk about cold people. Here we go. I already have changed it. Do you feel cold? I'm already feeling, oh my goodness.
Goosebumps, like,
What? Oh dear. Here we go. How do you behave when people literally just give you that cold back? Have you had any situation that, you have met someone and suddenly they just pretend they don't know you?
no one comes to mind, actually.
Lucky you. Lucky you. I don't know. I have been through that, but I guess that's what jealousy does. Not everyone is as beautiful, intelligent, successful as you and me. I acknowledge that. No, I'm joking now. I'm joking. No, I actually have been through that situation, but not because of that. I feel, yes, they're jealous, and that is people that doesn't know how to communicate. It's people that feel that they need to have everything because somehow they have missed out, on their childhood. And it's so interesting, to say that, because I think the majority of people would think that they have missed out on something in their childhood. Let's be honest. I think I have missed out on having more time to play with my cousins, to be honest, and just make pretending food and talking about things that we wanted to be when we are, grow up and dressed up, things like that. I wish I had more of that on my childhood.
How does it make you feel to think about what you missed in your childhood?
I'm gonna be really honest. I'm really sad. Really sad. I think things could have been different, but I guess it's the age gap that we have between me and my cousins too. They all suddenly start to have more responsibilities in life, and I just feel I have missed out. I feel that young version of me missed out. I can't give that back to her.
No, and that's the word, isn't it? You can't change the past.
Nope.
All you can do is change how you view the past.
And I guess trying to go back with my imagination, remembering those times and trying to make the most of them too. That also works.
Think, it's the focus again. Are you focusing what was missing, or are you focusing on the good moments, the enjoyment that you had? It's a focus.
Yeah.
Makes you feel, doesn't it?
And I love that we're talking that in a very playful way. So I hope people understand that the majority of the time, we as humans, we are giving too much focus, too much attention for things that we believe that we're missing. And in doing that, we are sort of sabotaging ourselves, not allowing ourselves to actually feel the present moment and have things that we are looking forward to achieve.
It's it's the focus and believe what we're missing. And then it's like, okay, if you believe you're missing something, what will you actually do to get it? So I'm more like, okay, take responsibility for yourself and do the job. Don't sit and be inactive, right? And expect other people to give you, let's say, happiness or a better life or fulfillment or whatever. No, it takes work. Life goes like this, up and down all the time. And you're given one life, right? And it's yours. You are alive and you have, what do you do with it? It's your choice. How do you view it? It's your choice. Where's your focus? It's your choice.
Yeah. Although we know society has tried in the past to control the way that we think and things that we do, we spend so much time blaming others that notice the things that we're not fulfilled at, and the places within ourselves that we still need, or let's say we would benefit to look a little bit more deeper, that in doing that, we're just giving our power away. We feel disconnected.
Not a good place to be.
Yeah. I
Not a good,
don't down there, you know?
yeah. I'd rather, work hard and be responsible for my own decisions, because it's so much lighter to not feel that you have to blame somebody else, to feel that, my life is in the control of something else outside of me. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You become like a marionette. No, it doesn't work. No, no, no.
Right, I would love to shift again. And would you like to have a quickie with me?
If you were a guy,
Oh dear, I
I
know.
would have to think about it.
Okay. I think you're overthinking again, I must say. Can you just accept trust on the process? I know we need to have boundaries, but just trust and say yes. I haven't heard the yes yet.
Pardon? Yeah, a yes for what?
It's gone now.
It's
I don't
gone.
want to do this anymore. I had enough. I'm trying to have a civil conversation here, but you're not noticing me now. You know, you're not paying attention to me. It's making me feel so unworthy. Why you do that to me?
Who's doing that to you, really? Who's really doing that to you?
You're trying to say that it's my fault? Are you twisting things now? That's what you're trying to do with
I'm creating a shift. I'm creating a shift.
me? That's how people behave all the time. You see, we just need one little word or one feeling that she's not present, she haven't heard what I said, and everything just changed. And it shouldn't be like that. I'm gonna try again. Would like to have a quicker with me? Say yes.
Okay, yes. When?
Good. Now, so one word only, okay? Whatever comes into your mind. Love.
What comes to mind? Caring,
Given.
receiving,
Party.
alone time,
Whoa. Fun.
kids,
Repeat again, please.
children,
Children. Right. Okay. Happiness.
again, animals,
Animals. Animals. Choose one.
one. That is difficult. I've used to had two animals and they both make me very
That's
happy.
too long. I said one word.
Okay, my
Ah.
dog. My dog. Still two words. My dog.
Oh.
I told you I do not, I'm not good at following rules. I think I'm a little, not I think, I know I'm a bit of a rebel. So I sort of tend to create my own path and go my own way, do my own thing.
And I love you the way you are. That's it. I'm
That's
also
it.
cool. I like to follow my own rules because I make them up, and I think what people will love me, what they will just like, doesn't matter. I'm being myself. And I feel that life should be exactly like that, but we have the choice to be who we want to be, taking responsibility for what we do would be so much more brighter. People could just feel that freedom in life.
That freedom and the power it gives you when you take responsibility.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's your superpower, Trude?
Communication.
Is there anything with all the wisdom that you have at this stage of your life that you regret that you have done?
I don't live in the past.
Why not?
Because it could make me feel really miserable, because how we make decisions and how we go in certain directions, and it's not always the best decision or direction. Well, it would make me depressed. So I would say that I feel better when I just say, hey, you, and this is funny, talking about what you learn from your parents. One thing my mother always told me, she said, look in the mirror and be proud of the person you see in that mirror. And that is such a, for me, very, very, very good, advice in life, because that makes you take responsibility. It makes you not blame others. It makes you change if something is not working. But the main thing is to just be proud of who you are being. Sorry, I'm coming back to this. I'm not sorry. I'm coming back to being the whole time, aren't I?
It's all right.
Just being, living in the present and enjoying life, and what's right for you. Don't give your control away. Have control of yourself. Take responsibility for what you do, and be open and aware. I mean, are you going out to hurt other people on purpose? Well, says a lot about your personality, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
When you're aware of that and you think, no, that's not who I am, then you don't do it. Sorry. Not sorry.
No. We don't apologize here, okay? Because there's never a right or wrong. And as I said before, maybe we just talk nonsense. Maybe people will listen to this conversation and they're thinking, you know what, I disagree. And they have the right to do that. We live in a world where everybody should have the right to be able to express themselves. What we do
think
is how they make us feel, saying, you know what, I don't like what you said at all. I totally disagree. That's your choice, darling. My choice is my life is not going to change because you don't like what I said. I'm so sorry. I'm still going to sleep amazingly well. And I'm still going to love you, because whatever you see on me that you don't like about me is just something that you still need to work on yourself. And it's absolutely fine.
exactly. Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Smash it now. Oh dear. We can literally just go now and enjoy the rest of our days. So, if people would love to know more about how to work with Trude, this empowering, amazing coach that definitely has supported me on my journey. She was one of my main people would I would go for help, because she's not only an amazing, beautiful soul, she's extremely skilled helper too. I'm giving you a free testimonial now. Have I just?
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Love
okay. All right.
love
As long as you're happy with that. No, let's just give you the space for you. Just tell people how they can find more about you, connect with you.
Okay, so I have a Facebook page, Trude Toubia Empowerment Coach, or just go on Facebook and search for Trude Toubia Empowerment. I think it's coach I have. Anyway, So there you will find, you know, my business card with emails, phone number, WhatsApp, and so on. Take the responsibility for yourself, do the job. And if you feel that my way is resonating, contact me. I'm honest, I'm challenging, I really put people out of their depth. And I still haven't heard of anyone who did not, I wouldn't say enjoy it, but benefit from it.
Wonderful. That's so true. Right. Thank you so much for being my #1 guest on this pilot version of Shift Happens.
Shift happens, shit happens, yeah.
Indeed, it was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, darling. Lots of love and all the best on this beautiful 2024.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcella.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Right. Here we go. We can stop recording now. I don't know how long was that, to be honest.